Joe Biden attempted to keep public opinion focused on a promise kept. After 20 years, the U.S. was finally leaving Afghanistan.
I stand squarely behind my decision. After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces.
But neither the president or any administration official has been able to address the chaotic manner of that withdrawal. Despite Biden's proclamation that the buck stopped with him, he lashed out both at the Afghan military and the Afghan political leadership that fled, even saying the U.S. had wanted to evacuate more people earlier, but was stopped by Kabul.
I know there are concerns about why we did not begin evacuating Afghan civilians sooner. Part of the answer is some of the Afghans did not want to leave earlier, still hopeful for their country. And part of it because the Afghan government and its supporters discouraged us from organizing a mass exodus to avoid triggering, as they said, a crisis of confidence.
At the Pentagon, officials insisted that they had role-played every eventuality. There wouldn't be drawn on whether that included such a swift Taliban takeover or whether such a possibility had been communicated to the president.
Plans are not always perfectly predictive, and as is a well-known military maxim, that plans don't often survive first contact, and you have to adjust in real time.
The Pentagon says it expects the 2,500 U.S. troops in Kabul at the airport to be supplemented within 24 hours by up to 1,000 more, and says that airport operations have resumed. In addition, the U.S. says more than 700 Afghans who were eligible for special immigration visas had left the country over 48 hours, bringing the total to almost 2,000. The president's opponents have been swift to deliver a withering commentary.
Honestly, this administration looks to me like it couldn't organize a two-car funeral. And maybe it's not too late, I hope not, for the president to put in enough troops in and around Kabul to at least get out all the Americans and as many of the Afghans as possible who are our friends, who are our interpreters, on whom we relied all of these years. It is a sad day for the United States of America.
However, when pressed, McConnell, as with many others in Washington, suggested his favorite option was a permanent military presence in Afghanistan, which would be against the wishes of a majority of Americans. The Biden administration appears to be hoping that eventually the chaos of the last few days will be forgotten, and instead the president will be seen as the commander-in-chief who finally brought America's longest war to an end. Shihab, Rattansi, Al Jazeera, Washington.